Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carla if you're new here, and I make videos about showing up for yourself. By showing up for myself, I completely transformed my entire life and ended up losing over half my body weight. And I make videos about that here. I do vlogs, I do life after weight loss tips, maintenance tips. I do videos about beauty, about fashion, about clothes, about being a mother, and a whole host of different things to do with mental health and personal development. And if that's the kind of content that you guys like, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss a video from me. In today's video, I'm going to be chatting to you about my morning routine. Now, this is something that I find that people are so fascinated with. And I know now, I can understand that looking at my morning routine, it might seem absolutely ridiculous to some people. But honestly, my morning routine now has become such an embedded part of me that I can't imagine living my life any other way. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is chatting to you about my morning routine under two scenarios, the typical two scenarios that I would have, and why I choose to do a morning routine and why I choose what I do within my morning routine. I'm also going to be doing a follow-up video where I'm answering questions from you guys, because I think this could end up being very, very long. So I'm going to do a video probably in 2 weeks, and I'll leave it linked up here if it's out, or up here. The follow-up video, I'm going to be answering your questions about my morning routine and also giving some tips and advice about how to slowly implement a morning routine in for you that works for you. So let's get into my morning routine. I am a very proud card-carrying member of the 5 a.m. club. And when I first thought about waking up at 5 a.m, I was like, who are these crazy people who do so? I ended up, like, I've always lived in a family that had a bakery, and that's what our profession was when I was growing up. And so for me, waking up early in my childhood wasn't an abnormal situation for me. You know, I was very used to my parents waking up. I think they woke up about between 5 and half 5. And that was completely common for them. I might not always necessarily wake up at that time, but I was used to people rising. A couple of years even before I started my weight loss journey, my partner Vincent started working for a company at 7 a.m. and therefore we would have to get the train from he had to get the train from where he was into town, where we lived, into town at 6. And thus it began my kind of journey to waking up very early. Now, I have always been an earlier riser. I am a morning person. I work very well in the morning. I am most productive. My brain power is on in the morning. And so when I started going into town with him prior to my weight loss journey, and I used to go to the gym first thing in the morning, or I'd just go into work really early and eat. Then when I started my weight loss routine, I realized that in order to walk 1 hour every single day, that if I had to do it in the evening, I was less likely to do it. I am very much so a big proponent of get out of hell before the devil knows you're dead. Pre-lockdown, at the start of my weight loss journey, I would go into town. Vincent was still working at the same place. I would drop my bags off in my office and then I would begin my walk. And at that time I didn't love my walk, but I was able to do it then before the day. And that really started to set me up for success, and it started to make me realize that actually if I do it now, I'm more likely to do it than I am if I don't do it. And I built routines and built habits then based on that. And so my cue was I would arrive in town, I would get the Lewis over to my office, I would drop my bags and I would go immediately, come back, change, do my makeup, get my coffee, start my day. When lockdown hit, then I had to make a decision of whether I was going to do that or not. And at the time when lockdown started, I was a senior manager for a charity, and it was an incredibly stressful time. And I was working overboard trying to rearrange our delivery of our service. And I decided that I was going to go out and start walking, and I was probably going to do it a little bit later. So I was like, well, I don't need to get up and get out early for work, you know, because I don't have to travel in anymore because I'm working from home. So I started lying in bed, and then I would kind of like faff around the house. And then I realized this just doesn't work for me. It's not, I need to do something immediately. For me to be disciplined and to be consistent with my walking, I need to be up and out immediately, the first thing before I do anything else. And it was that point then that I also realized something that was really important, is that this time is my time for myself. This is not my time for anybody else. This is the time that I give to myself before I give to other people. And to do that first thing in the morning reinforces my self-worth and my self-value. And that is something that I have taken on now through pregnancy, through maintenance, through my life, is that this is my time to give to myself before I give to others. And that is why I am a card carrying member of the 5 a.m. club, because I needed to start work at 7 a.m. in order to deal with the absolute SHIT show that was going on at the start of lockdown, as many people did. But I did not want to sacrifice my time to myself in order for the time for other people. And that's something that I have continued to do, is to ensure that I do not sacrifice myself for other people. And it reminds me at the start every single morning that this is why I'm doing this. It's also, as I was saying, it's that opportunity to give to myself before I give to others. And I think that that's so important. As women, we, if the majority of people watching this are women, we have a terrible tendency to give to everybody else as opposed to giving to ourselves. We put everybody else first, our children, our jobs, our parents, whatever it might be, our friends, we are giving to others. And this stopped me from doing that. It stopped me from having that habit of giving to everybody else and never giving to myself. And this reinforced my self-worth, because my job was nothing if I was not on my best foot. And to be on my best foot, I needed to do these actions beforehand. I'm going to talk you through now about the 2 different scenarios in my morning routine and why I have slightly different ones, but there are overarching elements that are, actually they're pretty much similar, but there are overarching elements that are, there are themes, there are things that I try to do as often as I can. There are non-negotiables, and then there are things that I'm slightly more flexible with. So typically I will have 2 scenarios during my day. How many times can I say 2 scenarios? The first is that I'm working from home, and the second is that I have meetings or appointments out of the house, and therefore I am working out of the house or remotely for the day. My morning routines, whether they are the one where I'm at home or the one that I'm going out, will start the night before. And this is really important. I go to bed between 8 and 9:50 every night. If I am not in bed by 9:50 and nearly asleep, I'm screwed for the next day. I need to get ideally between 7 to 7.5, 8 hours sleep a night. And in order to do so, I need to be prepared for the morning after, because as I said, I want to be up and out before the devil knows I'm dead. Therefore, I'm setting up, if I'm at home, I am setting up my clothes, my walking clothes for the next morning. Have my socks, my leggings, my whatever it is in the bathroom, because that's where I get dressed so that I don't wake up the rest of the house and it's not too bright in the house. Get dressed in the bathroom, so they're all there ready to go. Then my alarm the next morning goes off at 4:45 a.m. Typically I will actually wake up naturally sometime between 4:20 and 4:45-ish, 4:50 if I didn't set an alarm. I like to set an alarm just in case I don't wake up, because it stresses me out if I'm late then for the rest of the day. I will then do my business, brush my teeth, take my hair out of my slinky sausage thing, which I wear every single day, stick on my clothes, whatever weather it might be, whether it is, you know, full uniform for the cold or whether it is a crop top and leggings for when it's actually warm outside. I'll put on a little bit of skincare, so I typically put something around my eyes, and I put SPF on if it's sunny or if it's going to be bright outside, and I will go out for my walk. I'm gone there for 1 single hour. Typically before actually I'll go for a walk, I will take a shot of Simprove in the morning. Simprove is a live gut bacteria. You need to take it on an empty stomach, and I will take it then because it just kind of sets me up nice for the day. I will then go out for my walk, do my 1 hour, come back. Then the first thing I'll do when I come back, turn on my coffee machine, feed the cats, and I will do my exercises. So I do 9, 10, it's basically a 10-minute circuit. That's it. Like nothing intense here, 10-minute circuit. Then I will make myself a cup of coffee, and depending on the time, normally this is about 6:20-ish, I will, if nobody else is awake, I will take my coffee, I will sit at the kitchen table, cats will typically come on my lap, and then I will maybe play a game of Candy Crush or something like that, and I'll just sit there and just relax for, you know, 10 minutes while I drink my coffee in peace. I'll go upstairs then and I'll have a shower. This is coming up to 7 o'clock, this is when Brannock will wake up. If he has woken up earlier, Vincent will take care of him in the morning at this point, and then we will swap. By about 7 o'clock then, I've had my shower, I've moisturized, I wash my hair at nighttime, so I never have to do a full hair wash in the morning. Shower is like less than 5 minutes. End of. with cold shower always. I will then moisturize my body, do my skincare for the day, get dressed and do my makeup in the bedroom with Brannock and Vincent, and then Vincent will go out for his walk and I will take over, finish off my makeup, spend a bit of time with him, and then about 8-ish I will go downstairs, I will do another coffee, drink some water. Brannock will then go to my mum around that time, and then I will start work. And the next thing that I'll always do is I will look at getting my morning pages done. I have a whole video here about journaling and my morning pages, but that's really important to me. So this is another opportunity of giving to myself before I give to others. So I have my walk, I have my exercises, and I have my morning pages. So these are really important for me. So that is kind of the end. Then I will start work. Whether I also don't like to check social media until I start work and I've done all of these elements. Because of my job and because of what I do on social media, I'm not like your typical fashion or beauty influencer, content creator. I have a tendency to receive an awful lot of very beautiful but very heartwarming and very deep and personal messages, and it can be incredibly draining on me if I'm not in my right space. So that's why I give to myself before I can be able to give to others. It's really important, and in every aspect of work, no matter what you're doing, it's really important that you do that. However, then my other routine, my scenario is if I'm going out to work. Typically what I will do then is that I will get my clothes ready for the day the night before, as well as my walking gear. I will ensure 100% that I am out that morning by 5 a.m. So I will literally, like, typically I'll take 15 minutes, I'll kind of not dither around, but I won't go as fast if I'm not out, but I will be out the door by 5 a.m. So like tomorrow morning, I know I'm out, I have appointments tomorrow morning and meetings, so I will be out the door at 5 to do my walk. I'll be back. Depending on how I'm feeling, depending on anything, I may or may not do the exercises that morning. If I'm feeling a little bit tired, I'm feeling a little bit drained, I won't push myself to do that as well. The other thing I'll say that I didn't mention before is that I do not put a snooze on my alarm, ever. I used to do it all the time. It destroyed me. I do not use the snooze feature at all. When my alarm goes off, I get out of bed. If I'm doing that, it's basically the same routine. I have my coffee, I won't sit with the cats, I will feed them though. I have my coffee while I have a shower, get my makeup on, and typically then I am out the door by 7 a.m. Vincent taking care of Brannock, obviously. And I will go into town, get the train into town or wherever I'm going. I will go somewhere to a coffee shop to do my morning pages, have my second cup of coffee, and then I will carry on with either whether I'm doing remote working, whether I'm meeting somebody, whether I have an appointment, whatever it might be that morning. So that's kind of they are my two main morning routines. I hope this has made sense for you guys. I will be doing a Q&A if you guys have any specific questions in the next video, and some tips for you guys. So if you want to leave those questions in the comments down below, please leave me a clock emoji down in the comments down below if you have made it to the end of this video. I really appreciate you guys checking in with me, and I hope that this has answered some questions about my morning routine and why I have such an early morning routine and why I choose to do this to myself. And I will see you all very shortly with part 2 and the next on my next video. And please don't forget to subscribe, check me out on social media. I love you and leave you and talk to you soon. Bye guys.